Hello and welcome to Warhammer Wednesday. In this video I will be unboxing and reviewing a Space Marine Land Raider. This is the standard Land Raider, but I bought it with a few other things, and this just goes to show you the size of an order when you're building a chapter. So I thought that might be quite interesting too. So it's a big unboxing of a load of Space Marine stuff. So let's have a look. Comes in this massive box. So I've got my trusty Spyderco. This was shot very end of January, probably uploading it March or April time. You will have seen these models most probably in my army chapter update video. So what do we have? Well, we've got a load of peanuts in there. I'll just get that out of the way. We've got a Space Marine Storm Raven. The chapter sort of sheet that I've seen, which I probably went over with the chapter videos and things and the update. The chapter has 3 Storm Ravens, so this is my second one. And then on the other side we have the Triumvirate of the Imperium. This, I'm being very careful with it, this is actually going to Uxion, the winner of my giveaway. So hopefully you've probably already got this and you've built the models, maybe painted them, but this is for you, mate. So this is just going to be kept carefully over there. Then a load of airbags. Got a sneaky set of Horus Heresy Burning of Prospero, which is the heavy part of the box, very heavy, and it's got everything in there. You've probably seen the unboxings, but you've got the Custodian Guard, you've got the Mark III Iron Armour, you've got some Terminators and some Sisters and Araman and the other special character. So that's that box, and then we've got 2 Land Raiders. In the chapter I think I counted about 10 Land Raiders. There are 7 in the first company, obviously because of Stern Guard and Terminators. There's 1 in the second company, which is the Battle Company. There's 1 in the Reserve Devastator Company, and then there's 1 in the Command HQ. I say company, it's not really a company, it's just in the Command HQ. And I've already got that Land Raider because that was the one from Warhammer World with its Primaris Rhino. So we've got 2 of these Land Raiders. We're just going to be unboxing one of them today, so I'll move one aside and we'll get cracking. One of these I think will set you back, I think it's about £45. I think a Storm Raven's 50, but if you shop elsewhere you probably get it at a discount. One of these is about £45 now. I remember when they first came out, I think they were like, so they're an old kit. They've had multiple changes. You've had the Crusader pattern, which had the metal Hurricane Bolters. Then they brought out the Redeemer, which had the plastic Hurricane Bolters as well. And now you've got this. You've got a Grey Knights one, which is exactly the same as this. You've got the Crusader and Redeemer, which is all in one kit. And then you've got the Death Watch one. Now, if you want the multi-melter on the front, hands down, go for the Death Watch one. And then you also get some shoulder pads and things. And I think that's like £3 more or so. But for me, there's no need for me to get multi-melters. I probably will get another Land Raider with a multi-melter at some point, but for now this is going to be fine. So come in one of these big boxes, and as you can see there's quite a big gap already in the box, and there are lots of gaps in the sprues, but you get the top hull of the Land Raider, you get the machine spirit with the engine. A lot of people spray this and paint this, which is cool, before they actually assemble a Land Raider. Then you get some exhausts, another internal sort of comm display, probably shows cameras that are looking all around the battlefield maybe, or around the Land Raider. You get this where you put the heavy bolter, and that's the flat base of the tank. Then you get the sides. This is 1999, and I remember very well when this came out. You get the tracks, so they're the left tracks, and then you've got the front assault ramp and the sort of headlights. And then the only difference with this one is you get the sort of mechanism for opening and closing the assault ramp, and you get the two sort of rhino door sized side doors and the right tracks. Then you get like the accessory sprue. It's not as big as the one you get with the Crusader. This one's got the Hunter Killer and the Storm Bolter, radar dish, and you know, the hatches and things, and the smoke launchers. And then finally you get the las cannons, the God Hammer pattern las cannons. Still incredible to have a tank that's 14 armour all round with 2 twin link las cannons, and then you've got your heavy bolters. I still find that an excellent tank, very survivable, can deal a lot of damage. Yeah, the 14 armour all round is just brilliant, unless you're going against sort of Eldar. Right, and then you get little instruction sheet. This is actually saying 2015, so it seems that they changed the instruction sheet, or at least they reprinted it in 2015, even though the sprues are from 18 years ago now. So incredible. And look, you also get the rules and things, so this is when they changed it. Yeah, 4 hull points, 14 all around. It's got the machine spirit, may take a multi-melter, but of course there's no multi-melter in the pack. And then you get the transfers. So that's the unboxing of a Land Raider. In part 2 there'll be the review, and I'll have it in broad daylight, so you'll get to see the model in all its glory. So join me in part 2. And welcome to part 2. As you can see, the Land Raider is completely built. I've gone for the pattern where the las cannons are at the front. This is one of 4 standard Land Raiders in the first company, 2 of which have the God Hammer pattern las cannons at the front, and the other 2 have them at the rear. Doesn't make much difference. Game terms, maybe you get a couple of inches extra range to your las cannons by putting them at the front, but I'm not really that much of a cheese person. However, as I tend to just make my models so that they look pretty cool for the collection over how well they do in a game. But there you go, there's the Land Raider. Absolutely brilliant kit, brilliant model. It's still fantastic after all these years. When I first got the Land Raider, I actually got 3. I think it was 3 for, I want to say £75, because I think that they were 30. So buying 3 back when they came out, we're talking sort of 2000. It must have been over 17 years now or so for that price. And now I think they'll set you back about 40 or £45. I think it's £45 for one. So they have gone up, but the model has stayed exactly the same. The sprues still stamped with the year that they were made and printed. But it is a testament to all those years ago, how incredible the model is, and how well it's lasted the test of time. Because Forge World use it on a number of their models too. So it's a very reliable model for them to build upgrades and extra parts to it. And also in gaming terms, the Land Raider is present in nearly all of the sort of Imperial Space Marine books. I mean, the Land Raider has since been, upgraded with the Land Raider Spartan, which is this huge vehicle transport, which has even more firepower. It has quad las cannons, and it has an increased capacity, and it can have a flare shield too. But in 30k, the Land Raider is also one of the heavy support choices that you can take in a Legion Land Raider Battle Squadron. You can take a Phobos, a Proteus, or an Achilles. Your Phobos is basically your standard template, your basic pattern. Your Proteus sort of looks like you're a little bit of a larger one with you can have a twin link las cannon on the hull. And then your Achilles is the one with the quad launcher at the front. So in 30k, it plays a part. Deathwatch, you can take it in your Deathwatch army. Grey Knights, you can take it in your Grey Knights army. You can take it for your Custodians now in your 40k as a Venerable Land Raider for 275 points. Every penetrating hit, you can make your opponent re-roll, which is pretty awesome. And it also has Aegis of the Emperor, which gives it a 5+ invulnerable save. Oh, and its ballistic skill is 5, obviously, so two's up for all of its weapons. Of course, you can have it in your Space Marine Codex. This whopping 200-page book has quite a few variants, and this is where I will be drawing its rules from. So you can have a normal standard Land Raider, a Crusader, which has the 2 Hurricane bolters, and you can also have the Redeemer, which has the 2 Flamestorm cannons. But this is your just normal, typical Land Raider. They call it like the God Hammer pattern, because that's with the twin link las cannons. When it first came out, it was just immense. Legendary in terms of the 14 armour all around, not just at the front or the sides, but the rear as well. 14 completely around. Its armament's very decent too. The 2 twin link las cannons are incredible against armoured units with great range at the 48 inches. It's also got an anti-infantry defence in the form of a twin-linked heavy bolter. You can give it a storm bolter if you wish, and you can also give it a hunter-killer missile, but there you go. So that's what it's equipped with. Very decent unit. Obviously there are some armies that will, negate its armour 14 all round, reduce it to 12. Melter weapons as well are very decent against it. So its stat line is its ballistic skill 4, but all of its weapons are twin-linked, so it's going to have an excellent chance of hitting anything, even on a 3+. Its armour, as I just mentioned, is 14 all round, and it's got 4 hull points, not 3, just the 4. So it can also take a multi-melter, which was new, but the sprue doesn't include a multi-melter, just to point that out. The Land Raider Crusader sprue or box set does include a multi-melter. Now, even in the most recent Space Marine Codex, it doesn't actually explain the power of the machine spirit anywhere. It's actually in the 40k rulebook, but I can tell you now that using the power of the machine spirit, the vehicle gets an extra shooting attack. If it moved as well, and it can't fire any weapons, it can still fire the one weapon with the power of the machine spirit. Now, there is a downside to this, is that it's not actually a user that fires the weapon, so it's the vehicle itself, and it fires it at ballistic skill 2, so it's going to be 5s up. However, obviously because all the weapons are twin linked, it's 5 up re-rolling, so that's pretty decent. It means it can still move, and it can fire with that one weapon, or it can fire its weapons and then get that extra shot with the power of the machine spirit. So that's an extra sort of trick up its sleeve. It also has a searchlight and smoke launchers. Transport capacity, you can carry 10 models in this. It can carry the bulky models too, so your Terminators, obviously the count as 2, so you could carry 5 Terminators in one of these. The Crusader, though, you can carry 16 models as opposed to this one's 10. Obviously that's because the space has been used for the power capacitors for the las cannons. And it can take items from the Space Marine equipment list. Now, there is a formation for Land Raiders if you have 3 units. So if you've got three Land Raiders, you can make this formation. But it doesn't say that you can have any more than 3. But you can take 3 from Land Raider, Crusader or Redeemer, and it can be a combination of any of those 3. Personally, I'd go for the 3 normal God Hammer ones, and then you've got sort of an anti-Titan-ish unit. Now, the benefits of having 3 of them together: armoured behemoths, they ignore crew shaken, stunned, weapon destroyed and immobilised results. as long as they're within 6 inches of at least one other model with the formation. You could have them all. You could be really cheesy and have one there, one there. You could have them all in a line, or you could have them in a arrow tip shape. However you want to create that is up to you. But to ignore immobilized and weapon destroyed, that's immense. You can pack these things with Terminators, 3 Land Raiders with Terminators, rolling up and continue to move. Anything that's being hit at them with their 4 hull points each, they're going to ignore. Even the mightiest shall fall. Models in the formation can re-roll, fail to wound rolls or armour penetration rolls when shooting at gargantuan creatures, super heavy vehicles or buildings that have the mighty bulwark. Special rule. So that's incredible too. So like I said before, if you have 3 of them with the Godhammer las cannon configuration, you've then got 6 las cannon shots, all twin linked, that can re-roll to wound or armour penetration if they want. 6 re-rolling. Then you get your machine spirits as well. So that can be quite devastating, and it would be quite cheap, 750 points for 3 las cannons that can take out a 1,000 point Titan or gargantuan creature. There's not many gargantuan creatures about actually, but still, that's very decent formation, and that's one way to use them. One thing I have forgotten to mention is just the door. Inside there is a mechanism hidden by this left track that's on a rod with 2 joints at the top, with a joint at the top and at the bottom. So when you push one, it pulls the rod of the other one, so they close together. Well, they sort of close together or open together. So, and that's quite a neat feature. There are many people on the internet that have sprayed the inside and have painted it to an absolutely fantastic level of detail. All the lights, it is fully detailed in there. And it's a great kit if you wanted to do that for the interior of the model. It gives you that option. Same with the Stormraven actually. So there you go. I think that's everything I wanted to say about the standard Space Marine Land Raider. Fantastic kit and a very impressive vehicle, even sort of 10,000 years or so after Mr. Arkenland discovered the original STC and sort of created one. It's worth mentioning that back in those days, his personal one had twin linked Volkite culverins armed by a servitor, and his Land Raider had a lot more armour plating and actually hovered. So it was a Grav Land Raider, and the Custodian Guard also had Grav Land Raiders, but it seems like they don't have them anymore. And also Forge World have released the Coronas. I sort of doubt that they're gonna go back and create Grav Land Raiders when they were very, very rare compared to like a Coronas. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.